Hey guys, it's Kim here with Fairily Fiber Fun. Thanks for joining me on another spinning video. Today we are spinning up some farm fresh roving that is Gulf Coast and Gulf Coast crosses all blended together from a local farm and processed at a local mill. So I used some of this fiber as a test run for some colorways I wanted to make. This is Be Mine Valentine, and this one was kettle dyed. I decided after the fact I didn't really want to do kettle dyeing, so I just have one of these and I decided to spin it up myself. So in the very center of my coil here is the beginning of the braid. So I'll be starting from the center of the coil and I will be spinning this by unbraiding and just spinning it from the end, and I will spin it end to end until it is all on the bobbin. If you're a new viewer, welcome to my channel, and if you are a returning viewer, welcome back. I appreciate you all spending time with me today. If you haven't already, please do hit that subscribe button and give today's video a thumbs up if you enjoy it, and don't forget to leave comments down in the comment section below so that I can read and respond to those, because I really love doing that. This community is the heartbeat of Fairily Fiber Fun, and I want you to know that you are welcome and you are appreciated. All right, let's get to the spinning. Okay, I am using my woolly winder flyer with has the gear on the front and then the little gear on the front of the bobbin as well, and that makes this hook slide up and down as this gear is turned. So we're going to thread through the sliding hook, thread through the stationary hook, and thread through the orifice. And then, because I think I did this the wrong direction a moment ago, yep, thought I was going to be plying. So now we are ready to begin our spinning, and it really is that simple to get the woolly winder loaded and ready to go. It's a little bit harder to get the tension exactly where you want it, and that is a little bit on the strong side. So there, my leader is in a loop, and I simply tuck a bit of drafted end through that loop, overlap it a bit, just a couple of inches, and then start spinning. Allow the twist to trap that loose end in place. This is nice. So this roving is really nice to work with. It is mostly the coarser fibers. I had taken a whole bunch, like 80 pounds of wool from this one farm, and I separated it by fineness. So I had really fine, medium, and coarse, and this is mostly coarse, although there was some medium and some tiny bit of fine thrown in there with it. Just what I had laying around. So like a lot of birch wool and stuff. And although it's not super soft, it is lovely to work with. Yes, there is veg matter in it, but veg matter comes out very easily during spinning. And one thing we've discovered, my friend Dana and I, is that if you process wool that has high veg matter and you leave a lot of the veg in there, Some of it falls out during the carding, some of it falls out during the spinning, and the rest will fall out during weaving, especially if it's your weft yarn. As you move the beater back and forth across your yarn, the length of your yarn, it knocks the extra veg matter right out, so the final fabric has none in it. And that's just an interesting thing to know. Most people prefer not to have a bunch of veg matter in their yarn. So I know that that's something that we have to deal with here in Georgia, because it is almost impossible to coat our sheep. There's just so much heat and humidity, and our winters are fairly mild. So I think it's possible in the winter, but I don't know of anybody that actually does it. Hopefully I can talk a couple of farmers into coating their sheep during the winter, because it does make a difference. Anyways, I'm finding that even though this was kettle dyed and it did come to a little bit of a boil in the dye pots, it's not terribly difficult to draft. It's quite pleasant, actually. And the longer britch fibers have less crimp in them, and so they're just not wanting to bounce back as much, so I'm having less difficulty managing my drafting zone and keeping it fairly consistent. Anyway, this is much coarser than I would normally work with, but I intended this roving to become dryer balls, and then it was so nice I decided to dye some up. And even this coarse britch wool is not terribly coarse. Like, I've worked with much coarser medium wools than this. This is definitely a medium feeling wool. This particular farm tends to have very fine Gulf Coast fleeces. But anyway, I'm loving the color, but I'm also loving how the fiber handles as I'm spinning it. We are coming up on our first little bit of a red, so I thought I would put that in here. Still doing the short backward draft, as that seems to be what these fibers really enjoy. I'll do a little bit of forward, make it a little bit easier for you to see what I'm doing. The fibers are sticking just a little bit. But not terribly. It just takes a stronger pinch and a little bit more of a tug to draft your fibers. I have more control with the drafting when I draft backwards than I do when I draft frontwards, which is, I think it's because when I draft backwards, I am only pulling against my fingers instead of where I'm pulling forward and the wheel is also pulling it. Anyway, I'm almost to the bit of chain, so I'm going to unchain it a ways and keep going. I want to get into the red some more. Let's try a short backward draft. See how differently that does. Oh, it really likes this. I'll try some long draw here in a moment. I'm actually running out of the part that I unbraided. This is going to poof up a bit. In the wash. But I think because it's mostly birch wool, it will be very drapey. I really enjoyed spinning this colorway and this fiber. It was so much fun to spin, and I cannot wait to spin up some of the tunis that I've also dyed. And I was very surprised at how easy and how well this fiber spun up, considering it was meant for dryer balls. So really low quality. Now here I'm getting ready to start chain plying. So what I do is I fold a long section of the single over and then create a loop and put that loop through the leader, and then I can chain ply like normal. And I didn't pay a whole lot of attention to color changes, just kind of let them happen as they happened. The idea was for self-striping, but with some color blending going on. And I really liked the final yarn, how it turned out. So chain plying is difficult when you start learning how to do it, but once you get the knack of it and you get into a rhythm, it is so easy and so fun. And it's one of my favorite ways to go to ply from one single from one bobbin to one bobbin is to chain ply. I am using a different wheel today for the plying portion because my rows only hold so much, and I had filled up that bobbin pretty full, and I wasn't sure that the plying would fit on that bobbin because plied yarn takes up more room than singles. So I just decided to use the bigger wheel, my Babe production wheel that has the bigger bobbin. Although at this point where I am recording the voiceover, I now have a larger flyer and bobbin for the rows, so I won't have to use the Babe production wheel anymore. Anyway, I'll let you see the bobbin magic and some more of the plying, and I'll put some music on for this. And you guys can enjoy the rest of the video. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you next time. Bye, guys!